Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today, we're going to be comparing the Makeup Revolution neon palettes with the Huda Beauty neon palettes. Huda did it first, but Makeup Revolution soon followed behind. Actually, I don't really think Huda did it first. Pretty sure there's been other brands that have made neon palettes, but I think the whole 9-pan neon aesthetic was done first by them. I'm not sure, honestly. But for sure, it was not done by Makeup Revolution until Huda did it. So this is a blatant copy of the packaging of the Huda palette, and we're gonna find out if it's also possibly a blatant copy of the formula as well. So I'm going to try each one of these palettes on one eye. We're going to compare the formula, try out both brands' versions of their neon palette, and see which one is the true champion of the neon 9-pan palette. So if you would like to know the answer to that question, as well as see the look that I create with two of these palettes, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. So first I want to show you guys just the component that the palette is actually in. Both neon pink, both 9-pan squares. The Revolution one is just a slight bit bigger and you can see through the top versus the Huda Beauty neon being completely opaque. And now let's look at it from the inside. Now as you can see, they are definitely similar, but definitely not the same. There aren't even the same shades within the palette. Definitely not the same formulas. You can look at those Huda shades and just see how different they really are. But I am going to go ahead and swatch a couple that are similar just to see how closely they match. But first, let me show you the neon green. Now, here is the neon green palettes. Again, similar, but not exactly the same. Definitely not exactly the same. So I wouldn't call it a copy. I would definitely call it more of a dupe than a copy. Again, the shimmer shades look completely different. So now let's swatch some. You know, looking at these palettes side by side, trying to find shades that actually are the same is really difficult because they're just simply not the same. Just for the sake of swatching, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution shade down here and compare it with the Huda shade here. The Makeup Revolution version is very satin and the Huda version is very matte. So there's Makeup Revolution, and then there's Huda. I do like that the pans are so much bigger within the Makeup Revolution palette. Makes it a lot easier to swatch more at once. I'm also going to go ahead and swatch the Makeup Revolution hot pink down here, and then the Huda hot pink here. So Makeup Revolution and Huda. I'll say, based on just swatching, obviously it has nothing to do with the actual quality of the shadow, but swatch-wise, I'm getting a much smoother swatch from the Huda shadows than I am the Makeup Revolution, despite the fact that the Makeup Revolution pans are so much bigger. And last, based on looks, these shades really aren't going to swatch the same for sure, but they're kind of the same tone, so I want to swatch them. But this grayish tone here with this rosy, smoky, grayish kind of shimmer here. So Makeup Revolution. It's definitely a gray. And then Huda Beauty. Oh, that's not even close to a gray. That's just like a duochrome cool blue to a pink. Now let's swatch some from the green palette. And now for the green palettes. Let's take this Makeup Revolution lime green and this Huda lime green. So Makeup Revolution and Huda. The Makeup Revolution disappeared very quickly. It didn't spread far at all. But those do look like close to the same color, this time at least. And that's pretty much the only shade that is the same within these palettes. So I guess let's do this purple satin shade with this purple chunky metallic. Yeah, no. Okay, so here's Makeup Revolution, and then here is Huda. Okay, yeah, these are not the same. They're not anywhere near the same. I wouldn't even say you're really getting a dupe. I would say that you are getting a neon green or neon pink palette for $9 for the Makeup Revolution one, or $58 for the Huda palettes. So definitely a lot cheaper when it comes to the Makeup Revolution, but let's see if the quality is actually there. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes off camera, and we're gonna give these palettes an actual chance to prove their work. I'll see you guys in just a second. Eyes are now primed. I used my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02. And I think for this look, I'm gonna use the actual pink palettes. It seems like they have many more matte shades that are at least close to each other versus the green palette, which has just a couple of shades that are close together. I wanna make both sides at least cohesive as possible. Granted, it might not be that possible, but I'm still gonna try. Also, I didn't notice this before, but the Makeup Revolution palettes actually have names to them. The pink one is called Party Vibes, and the green one is called Up All Night. I don't think the Huda ones have names except for Neon and then the color. So I'm gonna start with using Huda on my right, and I'm gonna use the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS5 Fluffy Blending Brush, and I'm gonna go into this hot pink sort of shade here. One thing I would like to mention that I do like about the Huda palette over the Makeup Revolution palette is that it has this really nice size mirror in it, and I'll be able to use this mirror in place of both palettes since the Makeup Revolution palette does not have a mirror in it. Okay, that's a really great pigmented pink. Really liking that pink so far. I'm actually kind of impressed with that pink, if I'm being honest. I know that I've actually tried one of these Huda 9-pan palettes before, but I really don't remember which one. I know I didn't film a YouTube video on it or an actual review, I don't think. If I did and I find it, I'll leave it linked up here, just not 100%. I know I had one opened and one was not opened. So whatever that means. Maybe I used it on an Instagram live. Either way, so far, so good on the color laying down. It's going on quite nicely, honestly. And I'm just gonna flare this out just a little bit on the outer edge just to give me a slight elongated shape. Got my shape pretty defined. Now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe R37, which is very close to that same Jeffree Star brush. And I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution palette using the center shade here. Both have an adequate amount of kickback in the pan, but they're both not too terrible. Packs on very opaque, very pigmented, just like the Huda shade did. A little bit more fallout with this shade. It looks like not as much is sticking as on the other side, but this base did have a little bit longer to dry, so I'm not gonna fault it for that too much. Other than that though, this is literally perfect. No problem at all. It built up a lot faster too. It is so hard for me to not go in with the same brush and go back and forth and just work on the blending. Okay, the hot pink is blended out. I went ahead and blended all the way in toward the inner corner. Since I don't really have a lighter shade that I can go in with that's the same in both palettes to lighten up the inner corner or the brow bone like I normally would, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the whole crease area one dimension and monochromatic at first, if you will, but I am still gonna deepen it. So next, I'm gonna take the Morphe M456 and I'm gonna go into the purple shade here in the Huda palette. It's definitely not as dark as the purple shade in the Makeup Revolution palette, but I've gotta do something to deepen up the crease. I can't just leave it as is. And I'm just gonna start applying this right in the crease. Now in the Makeup Revolution palette, I was going to go in with this fully matte dark purple, but if you compare the Huda shade here and this dark purple here, they are nowhere near the same. Not even close. However, the one over here that's in the same spot as the Huda one, that one is very close, but it's a satin shade, so it has a little bit of a sheen to it. Actually, kind of a lot of a sheen to it, but I've got to at least try to keep it close to the same color story. So I'm gonna use another Morphe M456 brush and go into the shade on the side here in the Makeup Revolution palette, and I'm gonna use that in my crease. And hope that it doesn't change the texture so much that it just looks crazy, crazier than it does anyway. I'm just gonna pack some on and just start blending. Ooh, that's got a lot of fallout. Now it's time to go in with some shimmer shades. And I don't think any of the shimmer shades in these palettes are the same. Yeah, based on the swatches, literally none of them match. None of them are even slightly the same. If I get at least the two pinks, one is like a soft baby pink with a lot of shimmer and shine, like a white reflect in it. And then the Makeup Revolution one is more like a dark purpley pink with just a satin sheen to it. That's the one that I just used in the crease. So the options are very limited, and really none of these Makeup Revolution shades pack a whole bunch of a punch. Oh, there's also this like golden champagne that's in the Makeup Revolution one that also is not in the Huda one. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I feel like I might have to cheat if I wanna make it cohesive and use one of the same shades from both palettes. Okay, I can't help it. I've got to cheat. I am going to start with the Morphe X Nikita N2 flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the Huda palette, and I'm gonna use this top shade here in the middle. It's like a duochrome pinky mauve grayish kind of color, and I'm gonna put this all over the lid on both sides. I know. I said I was gonna do one on each, but I've gotta have continuity. And I know now that there is literally no way to make these look the same if I'm gonna use any shimmer shades. I could barely even make it look the same just using the matte shades. Wow, that was not good at all. Yeah, there's nothing there but glitter. That was kind of terrible, honestly. I thought the Huda one was gonna be super impactful. Let me try to really build up the pigment on the brush and see. That's a little better. Okay, so I guess I gotta go in really hard with this shade if I want it to show up a lot. Now keep in mind, this isn't a tacky base anymore. It's going on top of a dry base. The brush isn't wet. I'm not using my finger or anything, so this is the most minimal application I could possibly have. But something I'm noticing as I'm blending it in that is really cool is this is a perfect topper shade. This is melting into the matte shades underneath it beautifully. And that just tells me that it would melt in with anything that I put it on top of. So that's really awesome for versatility. But I'm just gonna keep packing on until I get that white sheen all across the lid. Or I guess pink sheen. Okay, got it built up on that side. Now I wanna see what it looks like on the other side with a finger application. So I'm just gonna use my ring finger. Oh, wow. That is what I wanna see on my eye. That is not very good like that. So I guess obviously this shade is gonna have to take some building up no matter how you use it. I would have thought with the finger application, I would have been there immediately. That's okay though. It's acting like a true topper shade does. Fun. Now I'm gonna use this Beaky Blender super flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the Makeup Revolution palette into this super white shade. Picks up super easily on a brush. And this shade is gonna go right on my inner corner area. More like the inner half of my lid. The last thing I'm gonna do just to fix the crease area is go back in with both Morphe M456 brushes into the same shades that I was using to deepen up the crease. And I'm just gonna take that and reapply that crease color in the crease just to make sure the blend is seamless. And then I'm also gonna pull it down right on the outer edge of the lid, right on top of those shimmer shades. I'm gonna pull them slightly in toward the crease. This way, it just adds that little bit of dimension that it needs for my eye shape. Wow, that is so pretty. The way that matte purple just melted into those shimmers was perfect. It did exactly what I needed it to do in like 0.5 seconds. And then just to finish off the upper portion of the eye look, I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the exact same shade, but on my brow bone instead. So first, I just pack it on and get it really apparent and reflective first. Then go in with the big fluffy brushes and just blend out the line that was made. Okay, now I'm gonna clean up all of the fallout that I have under my eyes so I will look less like a crazy person, hopefully, and we'll see where we stand after that. Oh, that's so much better. I love seeing it like this once it's cleaned up. It changes everything. I can see the shape of the look. I can see kind of how it's going. Speaking of how it's going, let's go ahead and get it there so we can actually finish the look. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, do all of my face makeup, get everything done and ready so that we can go in with the lower lash line for both palettes, see what the entire looks look like completed. Then I'll be able to give my final thoughts on the Huda Neon and the Revolution Beauty Neon Pink palettes. I'll see you guys in just a second. My face makeup is now complete, or at least as complete as it can be. So now I'd like to go ahead and finish off the lower lash line so all of this can come together. By the way, these lashes, this is the first time I've ever tried the Glamnetic lashes. These are in the style OMG, and to think that these are held on with just a strip of liner is magnificent to me. They're so big and wispy, and this was the small pair that I got. They did send these to me to try, and just so you guys know, I do have a code. It's Christopher15, I think, for 15% off. If you guys want to get any Glamnetic lashes, they seem to be really nice so far. Granted, like I said, this is the first time I've used them, but initial first impressions, pretty good. So to stay with the overall theme of everything, I'm gonna go in with the Luxie 221 flat definer brush and go into the hot pink on both sides. I guess I'll get another flat brush just for the sake of staying consistent. No, new plan. Flat Luxie brush into the Makeup Revolution hot pink in the center, but I'm gonna do that on both eyes. You know, I've already cheated at this point. We know now the palettes aren't the same. So I'm just going to tight line my lower lashes with this hot pink all the way across. And now the moment I've been waiting for. I'm gonna go in with the Laura Los Angeles L18 brush, and I'm gonna go into the Huda palette into this very pastel-y purple shade, and I'm gonna smoke out this hot pink on the lower lash line with pastel purple. I've been wanting to go into purple since I opened this pink palette. The crease color didn't count. It's barely purple. Wow, this is perfect. Oh my gosh. Do you see that soft, subtle, purpley glow that it gives? It's so beautiful. Congratulations! You've made it to the very, very end of this entire review / comparison. Okay, so Makeup Revolution neon palettes versus Huda Beauty neon palettes. Do we have a clear winner? I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Go ahead, leave me a comment right down there. Let me know which brand is the winner to you. We have Makeup Revolution coming in hot at $9, and then Huda Beauty with a mirror coming in hot at 50 something, 50-ish. We'll just say 50. 9, 50. 9, 50. Now for me, personally, I'm gonna say there is no clear winner here, and there is no clear loser here. The Huda palettes are very pricey. I don't think I would pay $50 for them. They are on sale on Sephora's website right now, or at least when I'm filming this video, for 30% off, and I would pay that price for them. But I do actually really like the intensity that some of these metallic shades have when I swatched them. They just go on very opaque, very metallic, very intense, if you will. The mattes were great. They blended well. I didn't have a problem out of any of the shades that I used. So I do really enjoy the Huda Beauty quality. Then when it comes to the Makeup Revolution palettes, again with the mattes, I had literally no problems out of them. They built up really nicely, blended out really nicely. The only thing I don't like, and I've said this before about Makeup Revolution shadows, I don't know what it is about them. It's just my preference when it comes to shimmer and metallic shadows. It seems like Makeup Revolution is very good at making a satin metallic, or like a pearlized matte. Something that is just a little sheeny, but doesn't have a whole lot of punch. I love their shadows when it comes to everyday makeup, but whenever I want to make a statement, they're not something that I reach for, and that's just me and my own preference. But I will say for $9, I think it's a pretty good palette for neon. I think you're gonna get the job done if you're looking for a neon palette, and you want something affordable to do that with. Same thing with the Huda neon. If you want something with a little more kick and you want that neon look, then I would go for the Huda if you don't mind spending a little bit more. Now that being said, I don't like the fact that this is just a blatant ripoff of the packaging. I feel like there's many more creative ways to market product that are attempting to be dupes rather than just literally duplicating the product that it came from. Obviously, there are differences. I mean, you can clearly see that it's not the same palette, even just based on the size, it's not the same palette. However, it is kind of a slap in the face, I would say, to a brand owner who created a palette to mimic what they created. I know if it was my brand and I created a palette, I would kind of be offended if somebody created a palette that looked exactly like mine and sold it for a much cheaper price using cheaper materials and ingredients. That would hurt my feelings, personally. I think, anyway. Although, mimicry is the highest form of flattery. But in all seriousness, guys, I like both of these palettes. I think, well, all 4 of these palettes, I think they both hit the nail on the head when it comes to neons and trying to get something bright out of the palette. We definitely got that. It is a neon pink look. So it did the job for sure. I would recommend both based on your price and based on what you're looking for. I personally would pick Huda over Makeup Revolution for this specific kind of shadow, but that's just me. Like I said before, you guys let me know down below what you would pick, what your preference is. Let me know if you might even think that they are close enough to each other to dupe each other out. You guys know that I'm always hanging out in the comments with you, talking back and forth, so by all means, let me know your thoughts. And if you did enjoy this video, it'd mean the world to me if you wanted to just leave me a little thumbs up, you know, just hit that little button down there. Let me know you enjoyed the video. Let me know that you enjoy my content. Speaking of my content, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!